Oh, hi. Shout out to mom. Hey, house guests. Welcome to today's Big Brother 24 updates and spoilers. Happy Tuesday. Hope you're all having a wonderful day so far. Our house guests of the day are the T of Texas and Manish Murley. Thank you both so much for the support. We could not do this without you, and we appreciate it so, so much. So thank you again. And if you guys want to be house guests of the day, check out our Patreon link in the info box below. It's only $1 for a holla, as always. Yay! Happy second half of the season. We have officially made it into the second half. That is so exciting. I feel like the season has kind of been flying so far. It's wild. But anyway, before we get going, I want to thank yesterday's super chatters because that's a fantastic way to support our channel. So Jefferson Tucker, Kay Davis, Brooke Murphy, Indy Girl, Jay Johnson, Lynn Hurst, Ed M, Irma Beatty, we still haven't figured that out. Angela H, Don MH302, Christian Torres, Shane Wright, Alex PSX, Josh D, Meg McMuffin, Enjoy Natural, Dane Thomas, Callie, Alicia Walters, Cal Nana. Thank you all so much for your super chats. We really appreciate it. And I see we have an extra special super chatter today. Jefferson, thank you so much as always. And he says, stand by. The show will begin in 10 seconds, and that's fast. Well, I'm sorry I was a little bit late today. But seriously, thank you so much. We appreciate it immensely. All right. Oh my goodness. When we left off yesterday, they had the power veto ceremony. Terence and Indy were on the block going into it, and what a mess leading up to this ceremony. If you want to check out yesterday's spoiler, if you haven't already seen it, I know I usually do a little recap before I get into the new stuff, but I can't do all that again. My brain feels like it's still going to explode from yesterday, so I have a little bit of a recap here, but not as good as usual. But seriously, if you haven't seen yesterday's spoiler yet, you should probably check that out. Okay, so going into the ceremony, Kyle put his foot down when he learned that Alyssa was Taylor's new target for the week. He said that he would not feel comfortable using the power veto if it meant that Alyssa was going to be going up and out. He does not want to do that. He does not want to get rid of Alyssa when they still have 3 other targets outside of the Leftovers alliance to choose from. Also, Kyle and Alyssa banged the other day, so he doesn't want to get rid of her now. So he did tell Taylor if he were to win HOH in the future, he would be willing to put Alyssa up on the block himself. No freaking way. I'm sorry. If he doesn't use the power veto in this situation and he can hide it and be like, oh, I thought Monty was going up, there is no effing way that Kyle would put Alyssa up on the block himself. Sorry. No way. All right. Oh, I just realized what you're talking about, Jefferson, when you said the 10 seconds thing. We'll get there. But anyway, yeah. So Kyle did not use the power veto. Terence and Indy remain up on the block, and I guess Indy is the target. But, with the way that things have been going this week, I wouldn't be surprised if we saw some flip-flopping, waffling back and forth. But for now, Indy is the target. But Kyle not using the veto, not only did this cause tension between the Leftovers alliance, it also looked super weird to the people outside of the alliance. Taylor has been selling all week that she had a big backdoor target. She made people think that it was Monty. We know that it wasn't really. She's working with Monty, but that was all a front. So Terence, Jasmine, and Indy are wondering, dang, is Kyle trying to protect Monty? Is that why he didn't use the veto? Kyle is working with Monty? So it looked super sus. But Kyle's excuse that he's been telling the people outside of the Leftovers is, I was worried that Alyssa was going to go up due to her tomfoolery during the power veto competition when she took the London trip away from Taylor, even after Taylor warned her. So that's his story, and he is sticking to it. Okay, so moving on. Terence, after the power veto ceremony, Terence was up in the HOH room with Taylor, Michael, and Brittany, and Terence is trying to count up his potential votes for the week. So he's like, I think I should have Kyle and Alyssa because they've told me they're really tired of Indy bossing them around. Also, Kyle told me that he would have used the veto on me if he thought I was in danger. He wasn't going to leave me up there if he thought I was going. So he should be keeping me. Also, he's counting on Brittany, Michael, and Turner. And Turner wasn't in the room, but Brittany and Michael were like, so just keep in mind, you need 4 votes to tie this week and 5 to evict. He feels like Jasmine will probably even come around, even though she's pretty close with Indy. Because remember, Jasmine really likes to vote with the majority. If she knows that Indy is a lost cause, she's probably going to vote for Indy to go as well. But Terence does not seem optimistic about Monty or Joseph's votes because they are both close to Indy. Little does he know. The leftovers are all working together, so they will probably be voting Indy to go unless they want to like cover the alliance. I don't know. But overall, Terence seems optimistic about the vote this week. And Taylor says, me too. She says she has confidence that Indy is going to evict herself this week, meaning like she's going to spiral, she's going to get super paranoid, and everyone's going to be like, she's got to go. So Terence agrees, especially since Indy has her punkatard punishment this week, right? I mean, she's being woken up in the middle of the night to do her performances. She's got to wear this costume so she can't get her workouts in like she usually does. It's just not a good week for Indy. It's the no good, horrible, terrible, bad week for Indy. Terence is not happy with Kyle for the way things went down with this veto. He thinks that this messed up Kyle's resume and his potential jury votes moving forward. And Taylor says, yeah, obviously not happy about it because, again, she's trying to play up that she wanted Monty to go this week. But she says, I'm not taking it personally. I had my little outburst, my Daniel moment, and then I came up here. Oh? It sounds like she put on a show either at or after the power veto ceremony. I don't know which one, but again, she's trying to play up that she's mad at Kyle. And honestly, I think she is somewhat mad at Kyle because she wanted to take Alyssa out. And Kyle was all like, no, you can't do it. Oh, my fiance's here. Thank you for the super chat. Love you. Okay. So moving on. Terence goes over his plan for if he wins HOH. He is saying that he would like to put Kyle and Monty up on the block because clearly those two are working together. And he says if the veto is used, Alyssa would be the replacement nominee. And Taylor's like, you should probably keep that all on the down low because if that gets out there, you might lose some votes this week. So maybe just like don't tell people all that. All right. So a few minutes later, Indy is in the HOH room with Taylor, Michael, Brittany, and Jasmine. And Indy says, I'm not going to be campaigning or driving anyone crazy this week with all that, but can I count on your votes? And Michael and Brittany are just like, you can tell they don't want to like verbally commit to it. But Michael says he wants her to stay. So they're basically telling like both nominees that they're keeping them at this point. Indy says, I just don't want to be stressed and I don't know what Kyle's going to do this week. I don't know how he's going to vote. So I just want to make sure that I have the votes like without him. So Taylor asks Indy, have you talked to Kyle at all yet? And Indy says, no, like not since the ceremony. I don't really want to right now. She says she loves and adores Kyle as a person, but she needs a break. She needs some time away from him. So Indy tells this group again, like, let me know if you change your minds about the vote because I don't want to get blindsided like Amira did. Michael says to Indy, like, you're not going to stress me out if you need to talk during the week. Feel free to chat with me whenever. Like, I know what it's like to be up on the block. It's not fun. So Indy says, I just don't want to be that person this week that just is going crazy up on the block, right? And it's just talking to people nonstop. She doesn't want to pooch herself. So she says again, if I am the one to go, just tell me. I'm not going to be mad, but I will do a better job of packing my things up. So she says she doesn't take things personally, which is absolutely wild considering what we've seen from Indy so far this season. So anyway, Indy asks Taylor, what are you going to do if it's a tie? Because that is technically a possibility this week. And Taylor's like, oh crap, I thought I was just going to be able to relax the rest of the week. I didn't realize that that was a possibility. But Taylor says, right now, I got you. I'll let you know if anything changes. So I guess they're just lying to Indy right now to keep her comfortable, keep her comfy. Yikes. So after Indy leaves, Taylor's like, oh, I just didn't want a woman to go home this week. Okay, so then Kyle and Alyssa chat in the golf bedroom, and Kyle's big talks over here. Oh, if Taylor really wanted to take a big shot this week, she should have taken it from the start. Like, not this big, grand backdoor move that she did for TV. You know, if she really wanted to go after Monty, put up Monty and Joseph from the start, or me and Monty. He says this whole backdoor thing just seems so fishy. So again, he is playing dumb for Alyssa because she doesn't know what the true plan was this week. But also, I think Kyle is semi-serious here. He did seem nervous that maybe Taylor was actually targeting him this week, and then she had to change her plans up when he won the veto. We've seen he is super paranoid that Taylor, Monty, and Joseph are all working together, and they're going to break away from the leftovers. So, yeah, he's paranoid about that. But anyway, Kyle is asking, do you think if Jasmine wins HOH, she would put up me and Monty since I didn't use the power veto? You know, she thinks that we're working together. And Alyssa's like, no, I don't think Jasmine would make a big move like that. But then again, I don't really talk that much game with her. I avoid game chats with Jasmine. So I don't really know what she would do. I feel like Alyssa is just such like a non-factor in this game as far as gameplay goes. But because of her relationship with Kyle, she's had like a huge impact unknowingly on this game. It's kind of wild, actually. But anyway, Kyle's like, sorry, Alyssa says if she wins HOH, she would put up Monty and Joseph. And Monty would be her target. So Kyle's like, wait, you would put up Joseph even though we have the alliance? He's talking about the 5 swatters, which is a BS alliance to Kyle and Joseph, but the girls don't know that. So Alyssa's like, well, I wouldn't want Joe to leave, but he would be my pawn. Okay. So Kyle says, all right, we'll see what happens with that. He wonders if the vote will be unanimous for Indy to go this week. And Alyssa thinks that it could be because Jasmine, let's be real, is probably going to hop on board when she hears that everybody else is voting for Indy to go. So later on in the conversation, Kyle tells Alyssa, just this week especially, like, make sure that you never tell anyone that we talk game. They're meeting in the dumpster. He says it's very important this week, right? The leftovers' eyes are all on him and Alyssa right now. He does not need Alyssa doing one of her classic slip-ups and spilling information. So Alyssa's like, okay, I'm not telling anybody, don't worry. All right. So Alyssa and Taylor chat one-on-one in the HOH room. And this is an interesting dynamic because obviously Taylor wanted Alyssa to go this week, but like, how much does Alyssa know about this, right? And Alyssa is also trying to do some damage control here because she knows that it was not a good look, at least to Taylor, that Kyle didn't use the power veto this week. Because remember, Taylor's playing it off like she had a huge plan to get rid of Monty. So Alyssa doesn't want Kyle's move to be associated too much with her. This is very like complicated and multi-layered with all of the I don't even know what to call it, the BS, all the extra BS that's been happening this week. So Alyssa says to Taylor, I wanted to earn your trust. I wanted you to be able to make your big move this week. I didn't expect Kyle to leave the nominations the same or to stick his neck out for me the way that he did. And Alyssa says, I think Kyle was worried that I could go up on the block because I made a stupid move, oopsies, during the power veto competition. And again, she's referring to how she took the trip away from Taylor and gave Taylor a punishment instead. So, Alyssa, I just want to be clear here. Alyssa has had some hints thrown her way that Taylor was maybe considering putting her up on the block because she was pissed about the power veto. But I don't think Alyssa realizes just how close she came to going up this week. If somebody else was holding the veto, it would have been a totally different story. So I don't know that she realizes how much Taylor was wanting that to happen. So Taylor says, it's okay. I get it. She says that she's frustrated that she didn't get to make her move. And, she's still playing up that she wanted Monty out. So Alyssa's like, no, it's totally, completely reasonable. I understand. Taylor says, I didn't mean to blow up on Kyle. It was just frustration. I'm so curious what this blow up was all about. We need to see it. Hopefully it's going to be on either Wednesday or Thursday's episode. So Taylor tells Alyssa, I told you that I wasn't going to put you up this week. I chose you to play in the Power Veto competition. And Alyssa's like, yes, you have shown up for me again and again. And I appreciate that. And she says, I want to win HOH and show you that loyalty back. And she tells Taylor, I have a separate relationship with you. It's not just me, you, and Kyle. Like, we have our own thing going on without Kyle. And Taylor agrees. She's like, yeah, we're good. She does admit that her relationship with Kyle may change a bit after this. But she says she does love Kyle as a person. And Taylor also says she gets why Kyle would want to leave Terence and Indy up on the block. Indy annoys him. Kyle has talked about that a lot this week. And Terence was the only person to vote him out last week. So there is a bit of a vendetta there. He's not feeling great about Terence. So Alyssa's like, yeah, and I totally get, why you might be a little bit weird with Kyle right now, but you and Kyle should chat at some point. So again, Alyssa's telling Taylor, I love you. I support you. And again, she's saying that she wants to win HOH and keep Taylor safe. Do you guys think that she would actually keep Taylor safe? I think that she would for now because she does have bigger fish to fry. But I'm thinking maybe if Alyssa were to win HOH, it's totally possible that somebody's going to spill the beans to her about Taylor and then she may be changing up her targets. I don't know. But anyway, Indy was chatting with Kyle in the backyard. And apparently Indy had said, I think it was the night before, in a conversation with Kyle, that if she's voted out, she just wants to go home. She does not want to go to the jury house. She wants to go straight home. Do not pass go. So Indy says, I trusted you with that information. She's not happy that she's hearing that he told other people about this. She didn't want that getting out to everyone. She was being vulnerable and opening up to him because she thought that she could trust him. And Kyle was like, well, when you said that to me, like, it really did kind of affect my decision about what I was going to do with the power veto because, you were saying you wanted to leave. And if you were defeated, I figured I would just leave the nominations the same, Sure. But he says, I also didn't feel great about you hanging over my head that you had the votes last week to keep Daniel, but you kept me instead. So that is something that she said the night before the veto ceremony to try and kind of guilt him into using it. And Kyle did not take kindly to that. So Indy apologizes for that comment. She says, I was always on your side. There are just a lot of emotions happening right now. And she asks him, if I tell you things in the future, could you please not share that with everyone else? Okay. So then she's telling Kyle, I don't know how you feel about this vote, but I would really appreciate your vote to stay. And Kyle says, yeah, definitely. I love you. Sorry, I had to keep the nominations the same, but at the end of the day, let's remember, I'm not the one that put you up on the block. Taylor did that. So he's trying to push that with Indy. He says, I made a decision with that veto that was best for my game. And Indy says, I understand. I don't blame you for that. I just want your vote to stay. And Kyle says, no, definitely, definitely. And Indy's like, 100%? And Kyle says, I can't promise 100%. I have to talk with everyone, keep my options open. That's what I do every week. I have to hear from both sides. I have to hear Terence out. Yikes, that sounds like a no to me. But Indy says she still loves Kyle and Alyssa. They're going to be okay. Okay. So after Kyle chats with Jasmine in the bathroom, he is on an explanation tour right now, and he's actually still on it today, just before when I was reading over my notes for this stream. He was still on that explanation tour. So Kyle is saying, I would have used the veto if I knew for sure that Alyssa was going to be safe. So Kyle and Jasmine are having their little chat here, and then Indy comes in, and she's very emotional right now. She's talking about how she came to the US from Brazil 9 years ago. She really wants to be there. She gets emotional, starts crying. She's talking about how she wants to help out her parents. So she's asking them, like, please help keep me happy, help keep me here, blah, blah, blah. And then she leaves. And Kyle and Jasmine are just like, that's a lot. It's a lot. So Jasmine says, I want you to know that I had nothing to do with Indy's comment where she was saying, we had the votes to keep Daniel last week and we kept you instead. Jasmine says, I was not a part of that we, which is hilarious because Jasmine was definitely campaigning hard for Daniel to stay over Kyle last week. And Kyle knows this. But anyway, sorry, I saw that somebody was talking about how I'm not yawning today and it made me yawn. So Kyle says, I feel like the decision for me not to use the power veto was not only best for my game, but also for the people close to me. He says, I think there was a chance that Alyssa was going to be at risk this week. Correct. So Jasmine is like, all right, can I ask you an honest question? Are you working with Monty? Kyle says, well, Monty and I are on good terms, but not like alliance-wise. He says, we were in that post-pack alliance together, but like, other than that, no. Sure. So Jasmine's like, that's fine. You know, if you guys are on good terms, that's all good. I just didn't know if like that was why you made that move to leave the nominations the same, like you were protecting Monty or something like that. She says, I'm not going to lie. It did scare me. It made me nervous that maybe if I was up on the block, you wouldn't have saved me either. So Kyle is pushing, no. I was just worried that Alyssa would go up on the block. Like, if that was not the case, I totally would have used the veto. It wouldn't have been a big deal. And Jasmine's like, okay, I respect it. I'm not upset with you at all. All right. Meanwhile, Taylor and Brittany are chatting in the HOH room, and Brittany is doing some explaining herself, and she's also continuing to stir the pot. Some context here. We saw this week that Brittany and Michael were encouraging Taylor to target Alyssa on one side, and then on the other side telling Kyle that they want Alyssa to stay. So they were really trying to work the middle there and get the two sides kind of against each other. So Brittany is trying to clean up the mess here. She's telling Taylor, I was not advocating for Alyssa to stay. You know, you can see things all sorts of different ways through different lenses, but I was not advocating for Alyssa to stay this week. Kyle was the one really pushing for that. And Brittany says, this is the second time that we have needed Kyle to do something with the veto, and it's fallen through. You know? So Taylor brings up, Monty was saying he has never seen this side of Kyle before. He has been talking to Kyle since day one, and Kyle was arguing so passionately for Alyssa to stay. That's because they're porking. But Brittany says the longer Alyssa stays in here, the more attached that Kyle will become to Alyssa. That's why I told him that he should take Alyssa out, right? Meow. That's a lie, ma'am. Well, actually, she did tell Kyle that, sort of, but then she also told Kyle, I really want Alyssa to stay. You should leave the nominations the same. So Brittany and Michael were playing both sides here, but Brittany's trying to cover that up right now with Taylor. So Taylor's like, that's really interesting because Kyle told me that you and Michael didn't care either way who went this week, but you were leaning towards Alyssa staying. And Brittany's like, whoa. Kyle misspoke. Kyle should have just said that Michael and I did not care either way and just left it there. We were not leaning towards Alyssa staying. I don't appreciate that he was like putting us on one side. So Brittany says, I don't understand why Kyle even made this move just to save one person. He got a bunch of people mad at him. He caused distrust in the alliance. And she's asking, why is Kyle sticking his neck out so much for someone who's not in the alliance? Taylor agrees. They talk about how Joseph was willing to go up as a pawn this week. But Kyle would not let go of Alyssa. So who's more dedicated to this alliance? Am I right? But yeah, we see here Brittany. She's trying to play the middle here. All right. So a little later, Kyle checks in with Taylor. I'm not going to go through this whole thing because it's the same shit over and over and over again. We don't need to hear this whole thing again. But the important takeaway here, Kyle is pushing that he was not the only one that wanted to save Alyssa this week and keep her safe. He says, I'm fine with Alyssa leaving another week. Like, I just, I didn't want it to be this week. So he says, Michael, Brittany, and Turner, they all told me in private that they wanted Alyssa to stay this week, but they did not voice that when all of us leftovers got together and met as a group. When people would ask them in front of the group, they just would stay silent or be non-committal. But Kyle says a few times, they told me when we talked one-on-one that they wanted Alyssa to stay. But they played it off like they were indifferent in front of everyone else. This is true. This alliance is ready to blow. So yeah, later, oh no, Kyle and Alyssa are hanging out in bed in the Jetsons' room, but there's trouble in paradise. It seemed like they were breaking up. Kyle again was telling Alyssa, we need to keep some distance between us. We need to lay low for a bit, stay apart for a bit. We can't let our showmance get in the way of our game. He brings up how his head has really not been in the game the last few weeks. He's been spending so much time with Alyssa. He hasn't been building those relationships with other people. So he's telling Alyssa, we can date after the game, but for now we gotta really focus on this game. So then he's asking Alyssa, do you still like me, do you think? So Alyssa, she is tired of the hot and cold from Kyle. She's telling him, you need to be consistent one way or another. If you want to go play your game, whatever, go off and do that. Go off and do whatever you want to do. And he's like, are you breaking up with me? And again, Alyssa, not happy with the wishy-washiness of Kyle. She says, you're 29 years old. You need to figure this out. Okay, so this was basically it turned into a what are we conversation. They end up defining the relationship because Kyle was all like, if I get voted out of here, I'm not going to date anyone else. I'll wait for you. It's we're almost a boyfriend girlfriend situation. And Alyssa's like, I don't want to be an almost girlfriend. So then Kyle asks him to be his girlfriend. She says yes. Congratulations. So then, now that they've made up, they do it in Alyssa's bed. This was not on the feeds, but oh my God, anyone could have walked in and seen this. This is very bold of them. But also, we know, even though this wasn't on the feeds, that it happened because after the feeds were back on them, Kyle tells Alyssa, oh my God, I can't believe I only lasted 10 seconds. What is wrong with me? And Alyssa's like, well, it's perfect for this house. I'm dead. Seriously, that's too much. I don't need to know all these things. It's gross. It's too much. So she says, oh, I'm in a way better mood now. Oh my God. Make it stop. Okay. Let's check in on the punishments because this Alyssa and Kyle thing is already a punishment for us. Let's talk about the other punishments. Indy, we know, is already rocking her punkatard. She is wearing this thing for 1 week. She's doing her best, Big Brother has been giving Terence his tattoos to apply. He gets a few at a time. I think in real time right now, he's up to at least 110. And he is getting pretty tatted out. I mean, it's covering a lot of surface area. He's even putting some on his face a la Mike Tyson. It's wild. But he's got the Ink 182 punishment. So he's still got quite a few tattoos to add. And last night, Taylor and Joseph started their punishment. They are chained together for 48 hours and they are dressed up like punk rock couple Sid and Nancy, but their names are Skid and Fancy. Honestly, it's a little bit jarring that they would choose to dress the house guests up as Sid and Nancy, just considering how that all ended. Very, very sad and tragic. But I have a personal connection to this because my parents dressed up as Sid and Nancy for Halloween many, 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 many years ago. And we would always like to look at the picture of them dressed up like this, and we just thought it was like so scandalous because my mom was giving the finger in the picture. We were just like, oh my god. But anyway, the hardest part of the punishment here, Joseph and Taylor have to maintain accents for the 48 hours. Taylor's got to do a New York accent. Joseph has to do a British accent, and they are not good at the accents. It is brutal, but it's also hilarious. And if they slip up and they're not using the accents like Big Brother calls them out, they are very serious about these accents being used. Wild. Yeah, the accents are like a mix of Australian, British, I don't know what else is peppered in there, but it's a lot. It's fun though. Okay, in that way. So anyway, that was all last night. Today, nothing like super interesting happening so far. I think everyone's getting ready for later. Except, okay, Jasmine discovered today that food that she had been stashing away to enjoy herself has been discovered and moved. And surprise, surprise, she's not happy about it. So it turns out the leftovers were talking about her stashing food last night, and Turner volunteered to retrieve the stash and move it. So Turn Daddy strikes again. Now we got Stashgate. We'll see what happens with that. But everybody's, I think, just conserving energy at this point, because tonight at 12 a.m., Jasmine's birthday begins. So brace yourselves. It's going to be a wild celebration. I think they were saving alcohol already from the other day. They got their party supplies. They're going to have cake, all sorts of stuff. I can't believe it's finally her birthday. I feel like we've been talking about this birthday for like a month. So yeah, it's finally happening tomorrow. Oh my god. So we've got 2 days left until the eviction. As of now, Indy is still going, but she doesn't know that. So we'll see what happens. I believe they were going to wait until after Jasmine's birthday celebration to break the news to Indy. Can you imagine like if they told her before and Indy just like tanked Jasmine's birthday? Yay! Yeah, thank you. Okay. So I want to thank all of our super chatters today because we could not do this without you.
What?
What?
What is it?
Oh, yes. Oh, we can. So a lot of guys were asking before if we were going to get new merch that says, oh, hi on it. And Mom made some magic over the weekend. She was working on new merch, and it is now available. Woo! So the link is in the info below if you're interested in checking it out.
Teespring.
Do you want to talk about the styles a little bit?
Well, of course it says, oh, hi.
Yes.
But since the most integral part of the Madrosed spoiler crew is the pups.
Right.
They are prominently featured on the merch.
Yay! Bowie and Lucy!
But not just pictures of the pups. We resurrected Salvador Dali to cartoon them, and
very, very cool.
They have been dollied up.
Yes, you look so handsome, and Lucy looks beautiful.
Oh, thank you.
So you did a really awesome job.
Thank you.
And yes, those are now available. So check it out. I know I'm going to be ordering one for myself.
I am in love with the sticker, and I might have to get a coffee cup even though I have 10,000 of them.
Yes. I know. It's hard. I just want like everything in the collection.
Yeah, the shirts.
I wish the shirts had both pups on them.
I know, but they have either or. But the coffee cup sticker and what was the other thing? Coffee cup sticker. The coffee cup and the sticker.
Yeah.
On both of them.
Right. Good to know.
I might, if anybody really, really wants it, I might make a wine tumbler.
Were you also kicking around like the idea of a phone case or something?
Possibly, but I don't know how it's going to play out because there's so many different size phones.
Oh, okay. I see. Well, I want to thank all of our super chatters because you guys are amazing. Jefferson Tucker, seriously, thank you so much.
What would we do without Jefferson Tucker?
probably not be able to do this.
Exactly.
Alex PSX, thank you so much. And Alex says 2 divorce papers on finale being handed from Kyle's mom and Jasmine's boo. Ooh, not poo poo.
Yes.
Never been more excited for a finale. LOL. My goodness.
It's what's gonna happen after the finale.
We'll see. I think Kyle's mom's gonna be pretty upset. My fiance Sean, thank you so much for the super chat. He says for the Monday Losing Your Mind Fund. I mean, he's got a front row seat to that. He knows what's going on. He knows what's up. He sees the hair being pulled out and the So thank you for the super chat, but more importantly for the support, the emotional support.
Keep it down there. I'm trying to work.
No. Oh my god. No, I'm usually just like a ghost when I'm working. Shane Wright, thank you so much for the super chat as always. Susan Sadler, thank you so much for the super chat. AR Chan 1785, thank you so much for the super chat. And he asks, are house guests able to view past feeds after they are voted out, or are they only able to watch the televised episodes? Great job as always. I think the feeds are still available for a while. Even after the season's over, you can still flash back. And I think a lot of the times it's like archived somewhere.
Yeah.
I don't even mean by CBS, but I just mean by like BB24 or something like that. I mean, a lot of it ends up on YouTube as well. Yeah, a lot of it ends up on YouTube. But yeah, they can watch past feeds after they're voted out for sure.
But not in the jury house.
No, I mean like after the season is over.
over.
Yeah. That must be such a weird experience to do that.
Mm-hmm.
I can't even imagine. Sarah Nichols, thank you so much. And Sarah asks, isn't Kyle a Mormon? I'm living for Turner Antique. Turner Antique?
You sure?
Oh. Oh, okay. That's cool. Yeah, I'm really curious to see what his rugs look like.
Yeah.
Such an artist.
Kyle is a former Mormon.
Yes, Kyle is a former Mormon. I think his parents are still in the religion. So that must be a very difficult dynamic for him. And I was reading about it today. It really does seem like he's still kind of like struggling with that. He's got some like religious trauma. So I think that is really being awakened to here with his situation with Alyssa. So
you should talk to the one from Real Housewives of Salt Lake
Oh my
City.
God, I love Heather. Heather on Real Housewives of Salt Lake City. I have really been enjoying watching her her journey, you know, as
her
she
arc.
Yeah, and reconnecting with people now that she's left the Mormon faith. That's really interesting. So it's fun when the Housewives like actually serves up some like interesting real life
usable stuff.
Yeah. So love that. But anyway, Carl Van Bergen, thank you so much. Oh, I got to see what Carl said.
I didn't have time to write it.
Yeah, it's okay. Carl says, love you guys. I watched the spoilers during my study breaks. Why do you think we haven't had an intro yet with house guests doing the dances and poses? Oh my goodness. Okay, so everybody, if you didn't already know, Carl is in med school.
Yay!
Very proud of him. Thank you so much. I'm glad that you are able to keep up with the season in between studying. I don't know why we haven't had the intro yet. I wonder if it's just like a COVID thing.
We didn't have it last time either, did we?
I can't remember now the last season that we actually had that, but it might just be a COVID thing. Maybe they're just like, we don't need this, you know?
Yeah,
maybe it wasn't in the budget this year. I don't know. But yeah, it's interesting that they never really put together an intro this season.
I'm fine without it.
Yeah, I mean, I do have fun with it, but we don't need it for our lives, right?
Sometimes it's
not make or break.
I would watch the intro in the past and get disgusted seeing these people having a good time while I was dying.
Okay, that's an interesting take on it. Sean Davis, thank you so much for the super chat. And Sean says, this week has been a roller coaster, right? Taylor is a good competitor, just not good at strategy. Yeah, it's been messy. Michael and Brittany were in a good spot, but are now being sloppy. Jasmine's birthday gift would be a trip to jury. I know, right? Yeah, I feel like Michael and Brittany are playing a very dangerous game right now, and this could be an issue for them working with Kyle moving forward, because Kyle's realizing they told me one thing and they're telling everybody else something else. So that can't feel good. Yeah, I don't know what's going to happen there. Norm the Cat, thank you so much. Really appreciate that. And Nini girl, yay! Thank you so much. Hope you're doing well. Nini girl says, did Alyssa really not know what a newspaper was? I don't know. I feel like maybe that was just the show, like playing that up in the diary room. Can you imagine though if she really didn't know what a newspaper was? Honestly, with Alyssa, I wouldn't be totally surprised because do I need to remind everyone? Newark, the happiest place on earth. I mean, come on. But I just wanted to answer a few questions I saw here real quick. Val G5 says, question, can we get a different color on your scarves on your Etsy? Thanks for asking. I do plan on putting more stuff up there. I'm actually working on a blanket right now. I also have a bunch of stuff that's already done. I just haven't had the time yet to write up the listings and like take the photos and all that stuff. But I will be working on that soon. And yes, I will be making more scarves in different colors. Right now, I'm not really making anything to order just because I'm worried that I would get too overwhelmed, especially during Big Brother season. But
you don't want to get arthritis.
And I don't want to get arthritis. But I will be making stuff in different colors. And if you guys want to just like give me suggestions of what you want, I can try and work on that as well. But yeah, if you're interested in my Etsy, check it out in the info below. And again, I don't have a ton of stuff on there right now because I'm just so deeply entrenched in Big Brother, but that will be expanding quite a bit. To all different sorts of stuff, not just like festival tops. B Bean asks, do you have a muffin recipe in your cookbook? We do.
Yes.
We have the carrot cake muffin,
carrot cake
right?
muffin. And there's a
and
blueberry
it's so
muffin
good.
too.
Yeah, blueberry muffin as well. They're both delicious. Okay. Oh, shades of green. Okay. Yeah, I can definitely do that. I finished a beautiful, if I do say so myself, it's called a virus shawl.
Yes.
In a beautiful like hunter green.
Yeah.
I have that all done. It's all ready to go. I just have to write up the listing and get that up there, but maybe you'll be interested in that. So anyway, I can do more scarves in that color as well. Okay. So thank you all so much for being here. We will be back for more tomorrow. So until next time, much love. Bye everybody.